When you first open the app, you will see a screen, blank screen like this. Let's have a look at the interface. This is where you are currently. You're in your main space, and as you add spaces, it will look something like this. For example, I have a lot of spaces that I use, and I can jump to each of them, like this one, which is like a journaling space, or this one, where I have a vision board, or this one that I am planning something in. So when you hold, you can see all the spaces that you visited recently. Let's go back to the main space. When you're first getting started, it's important to know that you can create items from the side menu. Some of the items you can create are pages, stacks, spaces, sticky notes, text box, a wormhole, or an attachment. I'll explain each one in detail. For example, let's start with the attachment, because we have this interface here asking us what we want to attach. And here we can pick a file, for example, and I'll pick an image. You can also add images by using the image function. This will be linked to your Photos app, and I can import a photo. You can also pick multiple photos and import them. Now, to move anything in your space, you simply use your finger, but you can also use the Apple Pencil in selection mode. To switch to selection mode, you use this arrow icon. First, with my finger, I hold and drag, or with my pencil in selection mode, I also hold and drag. To move multiple items all at once, you can select them like so. Make sure the square selects all the boundaries of the image. The selected images will have this border around them, and you can move them around. But you cannot do this with your finger, but what you can do with your finger is double tap on the items you want to select and move them like so. When you double tap, you can see all the properties that you can change about that item. For example, let's zoom in and change the size of this image. I can also crop, make it a square, or this is a recent feature, you can also rotate them. Now you see that there is like a overlap here, and this PNG file is behind this rabbit image. So I'll double tap and change this Z-axis and take it forward. I can also resize this, hold and drag to change its location. Or maybe I will put it here like this. Now let's have a look at handwriting. For this, I'll create a page. When you zoom in, you can see the zoom level here on the corner. So for handwriting, you have all these tools on the outside. This one is a fountain pen. This one is a pen. This one is also a pen, but with a different type of pressure sensitivity. This is more like a monoline, and this is more like a ink pen. And this one is when you make it larger, you can tell the difference. This one is a pencil with texture, and this one is a marker. You can pick a color for each drawing tools and it will preserve its properties. Like I use fountain pen in black and I use it like this size. And for this pen, for example, I have a semi-transparent color picked and I like to use it almost like a marker. And for sketches, for example, I like to use this pencil in like a natural color. To pick any color, you just tap on it and you can pick from options here. You can also enter the hex code. And if I change this color to a purple, for example, it will now be saved as purple for all the other pens and pencils as well. I encourage you to play with them and see what you like and pick your own tool set that you will be using. The selection tool has two purposes. You can use the selection tool for moving items around when you hold and drag. For this, you have to apply a little bit of pressure. But if you want to select a handwriting, you can also use this same selection tool and you can move these around inside the page. This also works when you move handwriting from one page to another, but it will not work if you move handwriting outside of the page. If you drop it here, it will basically disappear. But you can undo. So for undo, you can use this arrow here. Redo, you can use this arrow here, but you can also use your fingers for undo. For undo, you tap with 2 fingers, and for redo, you tap with 3 fingers. Now let's look at the eraser. For the eraser, we have 2 options. One for object eraser, which erases something if you just tap on it. And the pixel eraser. This will erase something if you want to erase just a tiny bit of it. And for the pixel eraser, the size of the eraser depends on the pencil's angle. So if you hold the pencil like this, it will erase a bigger area. If you hold the pencil like this, it will erase a smaller area. You can also undo and redo the eraser, both with fingers and with the tool here. Now let's move some items around. While I'm moving things around, you might notice here appears a trash can. This is how you delete the items on your space. You just drag them here and drop. This also works with the selection of multiple items I showed you earlier. You select multiple items and you drag them to the trash.